Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu yoga practice. So for today's practice, you might want to have either a strap if you have a yoga strap, or even your belt will work fine, or really anything. If you own a house coat and you have a belt from that, or anything that resembles a strap, even use a blanket or whatever. We'll be using it for a couple of our stretches as we go through today's practice, all right? If you're familiar with my themes at all, you know I love to really focus on our breath through yoga practice, especially through this Jiu-Jitsu series. Holding our breath seems to be a very common occurrence when we roll, even when we're drilling. The moment we start to have to really kind of put effort into it, we tend to want to hold our breath, and that's why we also start to feel gassed. So through the practice, I give a lot of breath cues, just like when we do our techniques on the mat. Muscle memory, right? Breathing, it's all done with muscle. So if we can remember to do it here, hopefully we can bring it with us onto the mat in those moments of rolling. All righty? So let's begin. We're going to come on to our hands and knees, coming on to all fours. We'll start out with a nice wrist warm-up, one of our neglected body parts. Maybe curl the toes here too. Have your knees under your hips, your wrists under your shoulders. Curl your toes a bit. Maybe rock back and forth. Maybe just give those toes a little stretch, because we do tend to work our feet a lot as well, and they do get a little neglected. So once we're nice and strong in our tabletop position, we're going to just awaken our wrists first. So maybe just some little circles here with the upper body, little flowing circles. Just let's not force it too much. You just want to kind of wake up those wrists a bit. When you're ready, bring it the other way. Remember to breathe while you're going. Maybe even exaggerate the breath. Inhale as we come around. Exhale as we're forward. Inhale as we go back. Exhale as we go forward. Bring your fingertips so they're facing your knees, turning your wrists inward. And we're going to do the same thing again. Over-exaggerate your breath. Inhale as you're forward. Exhale as you come back. Just enough that you feel a little stretch in the wrists. Good. Go the other way. Bring your fingertips facing the front of your mat again. Still on all fours here. We're going to inhale, extend your right leg out, disengage your right glute muscle so that your toes face down towards the mat. You'll find if you activate those glutes, you might get a slight turn in that right foot. Disengage the glute using those hip muscles. Inhale while we're here. Exhale, squeeze your knee in as far as you can. Bring it right up in between your hands and cross your right foot over your left knee. So you actually have your legs crossed here now while you're in your tabletop position. And now we're going to inhale while we're in our tabletop. Exhale. Bring yourself back a little bit, your hips towards your heels, just until you feel a stretch. Inhale, bring yourself back up. Exhale, heels back to hips. Again, just till you feel that stretch along that left glute and hip area. One more time. Inhale, come up. Exhale, back. Inhale, come all the way back up. Brace yourself on that left knee. Squeeze the right knee up through the hands again. Exhale, extend it out behind. Inhale, bring it back to the mat. Good. Now we're going to do the other side. So get yourself nice and solid here in your tabletop. Inhale, raise your left leg straight out behind. Exhale, squeeze that knee right up in between your hands, crossing the left foot over the right thigh. Get yourself all stabilized here, nice and strong through the arms. Take an inhale over here. As you exhale, start to float your hips back to your heels. Inhale, back up tabletop. Exhale, back with the hips. Feel that stretch through the right glute, maybe a little bit on the left IT band here, depending how tight you are. Inhale up. Let's go for one more. Excellent. Inhale, back up to tabletop. Squeeze your knee back up. Place it down beside the right. Brace yourself on your left hand really firmly into the mat. As you inhale, bring your right arm up to the side. Exhale, float your arm to your back, palm to your lower back, giving your upper body a twist here. Inhale, lengthen through the crown. Exhale, maybe find a little bit more room in the twist. Just opening up the shoulders and the chest a bit. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release your right hand back to the mat. Again, firmly root that right hand down. And as you inhale, bring your left arm straight out to the side. Exhale, bring the palm of the hand towards the lower back, twisting to the left. Inhale, lengthen through the crown to tailbone. Exhale, maybe find a little more twist here, really opening up the shoulders again. One more breath. Exhale, release your hand to the mat. Now you're going to bend your left elbow. My words aren't working today. Bend your left elbow. Put your hand up towards the side of your face. Open palm. And rest down on the mat on that left elbow. Okay? We're going to bring the right hand, to the hip. Again, you'll feel a little twist here. So right hand to right hip. Left hand is holding up, open up on your cheek. Again, you're just going to feel a lot of opening here. It's a position like this where you might actually find it a little harder to breathe. That's the point. So still inhale, still exhale. If you can through your nose for inhale and exhale. Excellent. One more full breath. And release. Hands to the mat. Push yourself back up to tabletop. Now we're going to bring that right elbow to the mat. Palm of the hand to the right cheek. Inhale, just lengthen up. Support your upper body here. And bring your left hand to your left hip. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, try and add a little more twist. Again, it might feel tight to breathe. That's our point. It's always a little harder to breathe in these twisted positions. Good. One more full breath. Excellent. Lower your hands to the mat. Now we're gonna come onto our back. This is where you're gonna need your strap, so make sure you have your belt or a strap or something of the sort handy, okay? So once you're in a seated position, legs extended straight out in front, bring your belt or your strap and put it around just underneath the ball of the right foot there, okay? Maybe wrap your hands here. And we're gonna bring ourselves onto our back. As you inhale, you're gonna bring your right leg up. Straight, extended, straight up towards the sky. And then exhale while your leg is extended. As you exhale, try to allow your right hip to relax down into the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the heel. Exhale, let the hip relax into the mat. We're not trying to force our leg with the strap here. The strap is a little bit of added support, maybe add a tiny bit more stretch to the hamstring. We're not out to break ourselves. Inhale again, lengthen through the heel. Exhale, maybe find a little more stretch in the hamstring, allowing that right hip to soften back into the mat. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale now, allow your leg to come all the way down to the right side. Using your strap to guide your leg. Only as far as your leg will allow, while still keeping your left hip on the mat. Okay? You gotta come right up like that, it's too far. So your foot might still be a foot or two, your foot could still be here, that's cool. We take what we can get, it's all good. As time goes on, eventually the flexibility may get better, but right now, focus on the breath. Inhale, lengthen through the heel. Exhale, maybe find a little more space for that leg to come down to the right. Keep breathing. You really feel the stretch through that right hip here. You might find that you've tensed up your right quad. Try and focus on your next exhale, releasing the tension in that right quad. Good. Inhale, bring your leg all the way back up, extended towards the sky. Exhale, let your leg float down to the left, still supporting the strap. This time you will feel your right hip come off the mat, that's okay. Inhale, lengthen through the heel. Exhale, maybe soften back a tiny bit more. Extend that right arm out to the right side. You'll feel a little opening in the chest here as well when you do that. Again, if you find you've really activated that right quad, on your next exhale, try to relax that quad muscle. Inhale, lengthen through the heel. Exhale, relax the leg a little further. Inhale, bring the leg back up, sole to the sky. Exhale, lower the foot all the way down to the mat. You might feel a big difference here between your right and left. Take your legs a little side to side, a little rolling back and forth. Inhale, deep, flex your toes towards your shin. Exhale, relax them down. Good. Let's go on to the left side. So the strap just under the ball of the left foot. Now on our inhale, bring the sole of the foot to the sky. Let's just work it here for a minute. Inhale, lengthen through the heel. Exhale, allowing that left hip to relax into the mat. Disengaging the quad if we've got that activated. Push through the heel. Maybe find a little more stretch here on our exhale. Inhale, lengthen through that heel. Exhale, slowly bring that leg down to the left. Excellent. Inhale, lengthen through the heel. Exhale, allow it to relax a little more. Trying to keep that right hip still on the mat. You might also find that you've engaged that left glute. Maybe on your next inhale, relax the quad and that left glute. Inhale, lengthen through the heel. Exhale, relax. On your next inhale, bring the sole of the foot back up, facing the sky. And as you exhale, bring that left leg all the way down to the right as far as your body will allow. Extend your left arm way out to the left side. Maybe bring your gaze over your left hand. Keep breathing. And check in with your body. See if your quad has been activated again. If so, relax it on the next exhale. Maybe bring your focus to your facial muscles. Make sure they're all relaxed as well. Make sure you're not gritting your teeth. Excellent. Couple more breaths here. Inhale, lengthen through the heel. Exhale, relax it down. On your next inhale, bring the sole of the foot back up to the sky. And exhale, lower your foot back down to the mat. Good. Inhale, flex your toes towards your shins. Activate every muscle in your leg. Exhale, relax them down. Give a little rock back and forth here of your legs. Let them feel nice and loose. Take just a moment here. You're going to start to bring yourself back up into your tabletop position. Back onto all fours. We're only here for a moment. I want you to curl your toes. Inhale while you're here. Strengthen through the arms. Maybe turn the eyes of those elbows facing the front of the room to really root through the arms. As you exhale, hips rise up to the sky, downward facing dog. Maybe keep a little bend in your knees here. Good. Walk it out, pedal it out. Good. Get rid of all the cracks and pops that are likely going on. I know they are in my body. Keep breathing. Excellent. Come up onto your tippy toes, and as you inhale, walk your feet to your hands, forward fold. Again, keep a bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We're gonna work our way into some moon salutations here. Inhale, raise on up from the hips, hands overhead. Exhale, hands down the heart center. Readjust your shirt if you need to. Here we go. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, bend the elbows at 90 degrees for cactus arms. And I'm going to turn and face the camera here. I want you to widen your stance. Okay, toes on a 45-degree angle outward. So we have a nice wide angle stance here. Okay, we're going to come into a squat. So we've got our cactus arms. Inhale, lengthen the spine from crown to tailbone. Exhale, soften down into the knees for a good squat here. Excellent. Inhale, lengthen, just open up those hips. Exhale, soften into the squat. As you inhale, come back up, straighten the legs, keeping our cactus arms for a second. Exhale, extend the arms straight out, bringing your right hand to your right shin. Side bend here for a Trikonasana triangle. Now your hand might just come to your shin. You know what? Your hand might come to your thigh. That's cool. Your Trikonasana is all about what you want. If you have a block handy, you can bring your hand down to a block. Left hand extending all the way, fingertips to the sky. Inhale, feel yourself lengthen. Exhale, bring your shoulders away from your ears. Soften into that bend a little bit more. You really feel it through your left side here. You'll feel your right hamstring stretch. If you find you get a little more room to bring your hand a little further down to the ankle maybe all the way to the mat. Whichever is working for you. I know we're still here. You're doing fantastic. Keep breathing. On your next inhale, bend that right knee just a bit to come back up. Arms out. Good. Okay, you're going to turn your right foot, turn your toes so they're facing the back of your mat. Put your back foot on a 45-degree angle. Turn your torso so it's facing forward. Bend that right knee, coming into a high lunge here. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, come up onto your back toes, down to that left knee for a lunge. Low lunge. Excellent. Really feel a stretch through that left quad. Inhale, lengthen through the fingertips. Bring your navel to your spine. Activate your core. We don't want to get lazy in the core. Really feel the stretch in that left quad. Excellent. Lower your hands down to the mat. Extend your left leg behind you. We're going to come into a side lunge. Walk your hands in front of you. Exhale. Bend right into that right knee for a side lunge here. Maybe come up onto the inner aspect of your back foot. Really feel the stretch through the hips. You can bring your hands together at the heart center if you wish. You can just keep them on the mat and maybe relax them on that right thigh. But keep breathing. Inhale, feel like you're breathing into your hips. And you're exhaling, softening in. Fantastic. On your next exhale, rest your hands onto the mat. Walk your hands all the way over to your left foot. Turn your left toes to the front of your mat. Right toes, 45-degree angle. Frame your left foot with your hand. Inhale, hands overhead, coming into a lunge on the other side. Maybe come up on those left toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale as you come down onto that right knee for a low lunge. Exhale, lower your hands to the mat. Raise your right knee, staying up on those right toes, working into our side lunge here. Bring those toes towards the side of the mat. Your left hand just on the inside aspect of that left foot there. Again, you can do what works for you in your side lunge. Hands to the heart, hands on the knee, hands on the mat. Choose what works for you. Only thing I ask, keep breathing. Good. Walk your hands back to center, bend in both knees, wide stance here. We're still folded. Inhale, rise up, keeping a bend in the knees. Bend the elbows back into our wide horse stance here. Open up the chest. Remember, inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades, open the chest. Exhale, soften a tiny bit more into the hips. Inhale, straighten the legs. Left arm down to the right shin, right fingertips towards the sky, bending to the left. Trikonasana. Inhale, lengthen fingertips to fingertips, keeping our shoulders away from our ears. Keep breathing. You might find in this side angle pose, this Trikonasana, when you inhale, maybe put your hands on your right rib cage. And as you exhale, you can actually feel yourself gaining a little more space there. Inhale, exhale, guide your ribs towards the ceiling. Excellent. Doing a fantastic job. One more breath here. In through the nose, out through the nose. On your next inhale, bend your left knee, bring your arms up to the sides. Excellent. Body's up. Straighten that leg. Hands together overhead. Exhale, forward fold. In our wide stance, with your hands on the mat, heel toe, your feet together. So we're coming into a little forward fold, feet hip width apart. Inhale, halfway lift. Press a little into your shins with your palms extending right from the crown of the head all the way up. Exhale, fold, hands to the mat or blocks or just your toes or shins, wherever your arms reach. Take a couple breaths in your fold, maybe grab opposite elbows. Little dangle here, little yes, little no. Shake the shoulders. Good. Inhale, halfway lift again. Extend, nice flat back. Exhale, fold, hands to the back. Inhale, rise on up, hands overhead, palms together. Exhale, hands all the way down towards the chest, palms resting on the sternum, or thumbs resting on the sternum here. Inhale, hands overhead, palms together. Exhale, bend your knees, floating your hips back while hinging at the hips. Excellent. So your chest is going to rest on your thighs. Interlace your fingers. As you exhale, turn the palms of your hands outward. Extend your palms to the wall or room or world out in front of you here. Inhale, lengthen through the palms to tailbone. Exhale, maybe soften that chest a little more into the thighs. Excellent. Again, one of those kind of constricted poses where we will want to hold our breath. Keep breathing through it. Bring your focus to your ears. Make sure your ears are away from your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release your hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise on up, hands overhead, palms together. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. Fantastic. Good. Take a moment here. I want you to stand feet just hip width apart. We're going to work on our tree pose here. Do a little rock back and forth on your feet. Really feel your feet grounded into the floor underneath you. Go side to side. Perfect. Let your feet rest. Lift all 10 toes so you feel all the fleshy mound of your feet pressing into the mat. Good. Activate your kneecaps. Activating your quads, your kneecaps will lift, and then slowly bring your toes down one by one. Really feel yourself grounded into the floor under you. Good. As we come into our tree pose, we've got to remember to breathe. Okay, so not sure where you're at, choose the variation that works best for you. For balance purposes, if this is where you're at, just your toes on the ground with your heel, That's okay. Take this variation. You can do hands on your hips, hands to heart center. Get crazy, hands overhead. Do what you want to do, okay? Maybe you're here today. Maybe your foot can come to your inner shin, the sole of your foot. Okay. Choose you. If it's in your practice, you can bring the sole of that foot all the way up to the inner thigh. Don't worry about that. That's what this is all about, right? Resiliency. Find your variation. Excellent. Really root through that left foot. Keep breathing. That's the trick here. Maybe bring your hands to heart center. Keep your gaze in one fixed spot and you'll find it a little easier. Keep breathing. Inhale, lengthen. Maybe exhale, soften down. Press that right foot into either your shin or your thigh, depending on where you're at. Doing a fantastic job. If you want to challenge yourself, maybe bring your hands overhead. If you really want to challenge yourself, try and close your eyes and breathe and hold tree pose. Fantastic. On your next inhale, bring your knee forward. Exhale, release your foot to the ground. Give a little walk out here before we work on the other side. Root yourself through your right foot. Again, choose the variation that you need for you today, okay? Toes on the ground still, foot to the shin. Choose where you are. Just really feel yourself grounded through that right foot. Inhale, lengthen. Again, hand variation. It's yogi's choice. Jiu-Jitsu practitioner's choice. You do what you do. Hands wherever you need. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften down again. Maybe give a little press into the shin or thigh, wherever your foot is with that left foot. Good. Breathing in, balancing. That's what it's all about. You got this. Fantastic. On your next inhale, bring your knee facing out in front of you. Exhale, release the sole of the foot to the ground. Just stretch out the ankles here. Excellent. Inhale, hands overhead, palms together. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold to the ground. Again, you might find that you need a block here. That's okay. You can have a bend in the knees. You can have the knees straight, depending how loose you feel right now. Good. Walk your hands forward a little bit. Walk your feet back. We're going to find ourselves in a downward facing dog. Inhale, lengthen the tailbone as high to the sky as you can. Exhale, release your knees to the mat. Inhale, here in tabletop. Exhale, hips all the way back to your heels, arms extended, way out in front. Finding a wonderful child's pose here. Keep breathing. That's our practice for today. Stay in child's pose as long as you need. Just breathe. Keep reminding yourself about your breath. And I hope you can bring this through your practice on the mat. Thanks for joining me today for our Jiu-Jitsu yoga practice. Can't wait till next time. Namaste.